We love to hate it, but let's face it, folks, we're addicted to the internet. We use it for everything: news, cat videos, arguing with strangers about which Hemsworth brother is the hottest, you know, the essentials. But imagine just for a second that the internet vanished. Gone, kaput, like your browser history after a late-night browsing session. What would we do? First, panic, obviously. No checking the weather, no online shopping, no doom scrolling through social media. Could you even remember how to read a physical map? Do those even exist anymore? And Grandma, how would we know if she's okay? She just learned how to send emojis. Poor Nana wouldn't know a hashtag from a hash brown. This, my friends, is the reality we face if the internet ever decides to take a permanent vacation. Buckle up, buttercups, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. Remember the good old days? No, not the 1950s. I mean, like last week when you could send a message to anyone in the world instantly. Yeah, well, kiss that goodbye. No more instant messenger, no more video calls. Want to talk to your friend across town? You better dig out that dusty rotary phone. And good luck explaining this whole internet apocalypse thing to your boss. Sorry I missed the deadline. The internet broke. Yeah, right. And what about the influencers? What will they influence without the internet? Will they be forced to gasp, get real jobs? The horror? The point is, communication as we know it would grind to a halt. We'd be back to snail mail and carrier pigeons. Actually, scratch that. Pigeons probably need the internet for GPS these days too. Okay, let's talk money, because without the internet, the global economy, yeah, it's about to take a harder hit than a millennial's attention span during a 3-hour lecture on the history of mime. Businesses rely on the internet like a Kardashian relies on a good filter. Online stores, poof, gone. International transactions, forget about it. It'd be like trying to pay for your groceries with shares of a company that no longer exists because their entire business model was built on, you guessed it, the internet. And don't even get me started on the stock market. It'd be like a scene from a disaster movie. Except instead of fiery explosions, you'd have a bunch of guys in suits screaming into dead cell phones. Not exactly a pretty picture, is it? Okay, so the internet's down. It's a disaster, a catastrophe, a reason to finally break open that emergency stash of Twinkies. But before you descend into a spiral of despair and dial-up nostalgia, remember, humans are adaptable creatures. We survived without the internet once, we can do it again. Think about it. Without the constant barrage of notifications and the endless scroll of social media, we might actually talk to each other face to face like civilized human beings. Imagine that. We might even rediscover the lost art of reading actual physical books. So how can you prepare for this digital doomsday scenario? Well, for starters, go old school. Print out important documents. Learn to read a map. Yes, they still exist. And maybe even brush up on your semaphore. Who knows, it might come in handy when you're trying to signal for help after the internet eats your entire music library. The bottom line is this. While the internet disappearance would be a major inconvenience, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It might even be the kick in the pants we need to reconnect with the real world and with each other.